Hi Guy, today I want to have a bit of a talk about emulation of all things. As you probably noticed as we've been going on doing videos and stuff, I only show videos of actual, games I actually own. I mean, everything you've seen so far, it's been cartridges, original CDs. If I can, I always do my best to buy an original game, but as always, there's always a few titles which are just, they're impossible to get hold of, or maybe it's something I fancy, but I can't get a hold of it at that moment in time. So I might go down the emulation route. One game in particular, which, to be quite frank, I refused at the time to fork out money for, was Snatcher on the Mega CD, or the Sega CD version, which was basically I suppose it was equivalent of a text adventure game, but for the Mega Drive. It was only ever released in the US with an English version. Everywhere else, every other console, it's in Japanese. And when I was looking at it on eBay, you're paying probably 50, 60, 70 pounds at a time. It was absolute crazy prices for this one game. And when I was looking at it on YouTube, it just did not fancy it at all. It just seemed, there didn't seem all that much to it. But all the reviews were saying the appeal of it is the story. It drags you in, it draws you in, and so on. So in the end, I went down the dodgy route of downloading an original ISO, burning that to a CD, and bunging it in the Mega CD. And my God, I'm so glad I did. I mean, in the end, it must have taken me about probably 5-6 hours with a walkthrough just to work my way through the game and experience the story. And fantastic game, absolutely fantastic game. But again, if I'd have paid a huge amount for it just to play it, I don't think I'd have been best pleased. I think another game along these lines would have been another Sega CD title, Popful Mail. Again, that goes for crazy price, and there's only ever a US version out. The thing is, that was a platformer stroke RPG. I wasn't too sure about that one, but I did, so again I went down the route of downloading it and burnt to an ISO and played it for probably 7 or 8 hours. Really got into it, really started enjoying that. But that's when I thought to myself, that's it, I'm not going to play this copy, as it were, anymore. I'm going to go down there, I'm going to buy that in future, so I'll put it on my purchase list. And that's basically how I tend to get the rarer titles. I'll if I can, I will emulate first, or go down the dodgy copy route, but just to try them out. And once I'm convinced the game's good and it's worth playing, then I will make that extra effort to buy it. And I suppose on top of that, with cartridge games, I always like to buy originals with cartridges, unless it's uber rare. I'm trying to think of some other console games, some NES games, like I think it's Utopia is one NES game. You just can't get for love nor money, and when it does come up again, you're talking 70, 80 pounds at a time. Now I have played that on an emulator, but I don't like playing with emulators generally, just because it winds me up. It's just not the draw of playing it on the original machine. And I like having the original controller in my hand, going through the rigmarole of cleaning it, making sure the NES console will actually take it and accept it. It's all part of the experience. Another one, of course, is MAME. I used to have a MAME arcade cabinet until I moved, because I just didn't have the room for it, and I had to sell it, and I was gutted at the time. But a great thing about MAME is there's so many arcade titles that the chance of playing them is practically zero. It's not like everywhere's got an arcade cabinet stuffed down the back of your supermarket, or your local shops these days. And if you want to play these old games, you either buy an original arcade cabinet, which is crazy money obviously, or you buy a board for them, which again, same sort of problem. You can pay hundreds and hundreds of pounds in some cases for boards, and MAME is just ideal for it. With my cabinet, I must have had a full MAME set, and I would spend hours literally just working from A to Z you know, each and as many titles as possible, and it was never boring because you could always go back, flick something at random. You know, you're always getting something new. Again, one day I will return back to the back to MAME. I mean, that sort of emulation I do agree with. I think there's nothing wrong with that because you can't buy the games. You know, so I don't think it probably isn't probably legal, but you know, it's all part and parcel of owning an arcade cabinet. On top of that, of course, you can, if you go and buy your own, I suppose. But again, who's got the room to have several arcade cabinets hanging around? But yeah, I mean, will I go down the emulation route for these videos? No, I'm going to do my absolute best to stick to originals. I have been giving some consideration to do a video of Popful Mail. Basically just because it is a really good game, and I wouldn't mind showing off the intro and stuff, and you know, a bit of the gameplay. But then I keep thinking to myself, it is on my to buy list, and if I do buy it, it's going to be pretty exciting, you know, to open it up, do a package video, and then follow it on with some gameplay videos. So yeah, I think I'll probably wait for that at some point. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what you guys think of emulation in general, or you know, is it something you enjoy doing? Do you prefer having the original consoles, or again, do you just have a massive collection of emulators and then just a folder stuff with ROMs? You know, which do you prefer and why? And anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I think we're probably almost running out of time. We've been going on for quite a bit. So I'll do my best and try and post another video soon.